It's time for Fort Lee Bridgman softball here live on YouTube. Sam Kuperman with you on this Thursday afternoon. Beautiful weather in Fort Lee. Temperatures around 70 degrees. Nice breeze blowing into Lemoyne Avenue Field. And we got a non-conference clash between the Fort Lee Bridgman and the Paramus Catholic Paladins here on YouTube live. Thanks for tuning in. We'll give you the lineups as you see the Fort Lee side in there first, and soon to follow, you get the Paladins. Paramus Catholic led by Jack Casimiro, third-year head coach for them. Fort Lee led by Crystal Vargas, her third year here with the Bridgman. A very impressive resume for her. Played at Rutgers, Puerto Rican national team, 03 to 07, and a coach that's a spark plug. She really brings the energy, and her team feeds off that for sure. Fort Lee will give you the lineup for your Bridgman. Out in the field defensively, behind the dish, you have Joelle Park, someone that Coach Vargas really gives her credit for how fiery of a player she is. Around the diamond, over at third base, you have Luciana Casal. At short for the Bridgman, Sojung Won. Over at second base, Michelle Kim. And at first, it's Francesca Arnone. Left to right across the outfield, Yishi Wang in left, Kelly McCann in center, and in right, Francesca Lupino. And in the circle, it's Lily Shulman, who's been the regular there for Fort Lee, as she's started all but one game this year for the Bridgman, and she's someone that's going to keep that poise whether she gives up a home run or gets a strikeout. And the senior has been awfully reliable for Coach Vargas this season. She's a righty, and she'll be handling business in the circle. Paramus Catholic at the plate will take you through their lineup. It starts off with Carly Berwanger, sophomore, and she defensively will be playing center field. Jen Salvamini, she's playing short, and she's hitting second. Nicole Polvino for Paramus Catholic in the 3 spot is the third baseman. Danielle Doobie, the catcher, hitting cleanup. Sabrina Amendola at first base, hitting fifth. Christina Collins, second baseman, junior, in the 6th spot. Gabby Hartman, the right fielder, 7th. And the pitcher, Jessica Marciniak, is 8th, and Jade Gonzalez, left fielder, 9th. For the Paladins, these teams have not met in a few years. We were supposed to play this a week ago. Weather called that off, and now we get nice breeze and beautiful skies. Temperatures right now 69 degrees here in the area. Just getting everything ironed out here, and we will get set to start here live on YouTube. Fort Lee is coming off of a hard-fought loss yesterday against Teaneck. That went 14-10. That was back here. So they'll try to get back into gear following that. The Bridgmen have lost 3 in a row. They lost on the 8th, 8-1 at Passaic Valley, and then on the 3rd, 13-0 against Paramus. It's a young Bridgman team. You see pounds given out at home plate. Everybody seems good to go. Over on Paramus Catholic side, they're coming off a loss yesterday, 16-1 at Paramus, but they had won a game on the 10th before that, 8-4 at Cliffside Park, then a 15-4 loss at Alta Pan on the 8th, and then on the 7th, 15-3 victory over Ridgefield Park. So the Paladins have been 2-2 over their last 4, and they'll look to try to keep that trend going here this afternoon. The Bridgmen take the field. You see Lily Shulman. She'll take some warm-up tosses before we get this underway. And her first batter will be Carly Berwanger. For those unfamiliar with Lemoyne Avenue Field, it's important to note that there isn't a natural fence out there, as it is a turf field, and you can see the numbers on your screen, like you see, in terms of football markers, and that of course is the case here because it is a football field and converted to softball field. So it's important to note that a ball that bounces before it hits the second lane on the track behind the outfield That is a ground rule double, so that could be an interesting strategic element that comes into play today, and maybe a little home field advantage. I personally was intrigued by hearing about that one when I came in today getting started for this. You see Shulman there. She's a senior for Fort Lee, and she'll try to get this thing rolling very shortly. And she's ready to step up. And the first batter she sees is Carly Berwanger. And this game is set to be underway. Shulman in the circle, pitching to Joelle Park. First play, tapped over to her. On to first, one away. Easy does it for Shulman. Right back at her as we are underway here in Fort Lee. Next batter is Jen Salvamini, playing short. First pitch, a bouncer there. Count 1-0 as Shulman tries to work out the top of the Paramus Catholic order. Call that one. That moves to 1-1. This one sent out in the air, and let's see where it goes in the outfield and get a runner on. Next batter up, Nicole Pavino. Trying to see, it looks like, and we apologize, doing this off the monitor here back in the gym. First pitch from Shulman, bounces in the dirt. 1-0. There was the runner on first. That gets away from the catcher, Park. And on to second safely is Salvamini. So Jen Salvamini singles out to right field. And then she advances to second on the pass ball. Meanwhile, 1-0 count here to the three-hitter, Polvino. Flare to right field. Looks like it stays fair. And that could spell trouble for the Bridgmen. No, it does not stay fair. So disregard. Back to second we go for the lead runner, Salvamini. Polvino. Got a good piece of that ball. Kind of undercut it here. But now Shulman tries to work with the runner in scoring position. Tapped over to second. Play made by Kim. And that gets the lead runner, and that allows Salvamini to advance to third with two away. One out single, the pass ball, and then the grounder over to the right side allows Paramus Catholic to try to draw first blood here. First pitch way upstairs to Doobie. She's the catcher for Paramus Catholic here. Top of the first, no score. Paladins have a runner on third. This one low and away, but Park nicely scans the field to make sure there was nothing crazy happening on the base paths. It's 2-0 count. Shulman with two outs here. Trying to pitch a scoreless top of the first. Can't find the zone that time. And that's a called strike. Doobie was not planning to lift the bat off her shoulder. And she's got a hitter's count at 3-1 with two outs here. Salvamini over at third for Paramus Catholic, two away. Chopper back foul. Sabrina Amendola, the first baseman, is up next. Should Doobie keep the first alive. Count has moved full after Schulman got behind 3-0. She deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That ends the first. Lily Schulman ends the first inning without allowing a run. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base in the top of the first for Paramus Catholic. We go to the bottom of the first, 0-0. Fort Lee comes to bat here on YouTube. Bottom of the first inning here at Fort Lee, 0-0, as Lily Schulman, the Fort Lee pitcher, was able to get out of a runner on third situation to end the top of the first. Sam Kuperman with you here on YouTube. Let's give you the Fort Lee batting order. Kelly McCann, the center fielder, leads us off. Luciana Casal, the 2-hitter, playing third base. Then Lily Schulman, the aforementioned pitcher, is up third. They face Jessica Marciniak, senior pitcher for Paramus Catholic. Bunt shown, and that one looked like it missed up and away. McCann, one of the top hitters on this Fort Lee team. Really a surprise to Coach Vargas. Said that freshman, sophomore year, she was solid. Didn't have last year, of course. And then this year, things have changed, and she pops it back up foul on the bunt. That makes it 1-1. After Schulman, the 3-hitter, it's Joelle Park, catcher. Then Francesca Arnone, first baseman. Yishi Huang, playing left field. Michelle Kim, the second baseman. 1-1. Bunt goes back foul again, trying to angle that down the first baseline. Francesca Lapino, the right fielder, and then Sojun Wan is playing short to round out the Fort Lee order. Here's a 1-2 count. Marciniak. Swing and a miss. Got her down on strikes. Marciniak strikes out the first batter she sees, and that of Kelly McCann. There is one away here in the bottom of the first. Luciana Casal up now, someone that Fort Lee has really benefited from her hitting this year. And Coach Vargas says that she's one of the top hitters on this team. Has been hitting the best of late, but would like to see her get that going again here. And takes a called strike on the outer half to begin the at-bat. 400 hitter on the year, 462 on base percentage. 0-1 to Casal. It's a little piece of it. Fort Lee pitcher Lily Schulman is on deck. Both these teams play tomorrow. They played yesterday. A very jam-packed start of the back end of the 2021 regular season. 1-1 count coming in. Marciniak gets a swing and a whiff. Strike 2. Or I thought it was strike 2. Yeah, that's strike 3. Disregard, that's her second strikeout, and then we got 2 away. McCann and Casal go down on strikes, and Schulman will try to keep the bottom of the first alive. Scoreless ball game. Got strike one. Marciniak on target early. And looking like a bit of a pitcher's duel here in the first inning. Marciniak trying to get the Bridgman down 1-2-3 here. Shulman patient at the plate here. Misses a little. Nope, they'll say that counts. I believe it's a 2-2 count here. Pitch coming into Shulman. A little piece of it. Now she's for sure got 2 strikes on her as the Bridgmen trying to get their first base runner of the contest. McCann and Casal go down on strikes to begin things here. Another foul back by Shulman. If she can keep the inning alive, Joelle Park will be up. Shulman a .321 average in addition to all that pitching she does in the circle. Way too high, and the count runs full. Marciniak misses away, and Shulman draws a walk. Joelle Park comes up to the plate as the Bridgmen trying to keep things alive in the bottom of the first. Park .321 on the year, .457 on base percentage. A sophomore right-handed hitter. Really a utility player for Coach Vargas's team. She liked having her at short and in the outfield, but due to some players going down, there was just a need behind the plate. So she steps up where she's needed. Gets a piece of that first pitch. And it was caught. Didn't see the angle on that, but it was caught down the Lemoyne Avenue side of the field. So the first inning ends, and Fort Lee's able to get a runner aboard, but not able to do anything with it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base for Fort Lee. On to the second we go. No score here on the home of the Bridgmen on YouTube.
Here either.
Top of the second, coming your way from Fort Lee. Sam Kuperman with you here on Fort Lee Athletics YouTube. Paramus Catholic and Fort Lee softball deadlocked at 0 as Shulman offers the first pitch outside for a ball. This is to Sabrina Amendola, the 5-hitter, to begin the second inning. 1-0. Good piece of that. Deep in the outfield. This one's going far, and this rolls all the way past And that allows her to get all the way home. That's a home run, I believe, or they'll say it's a ground rule double. I talked about that at the top of the broadcast. I believe that passed the second level of the track, but was ruled a ground rule double, and Fort Lee gets the benefit from that home field advantage. But Amendola gave that ball a ride to center field. Leadoff double here in the top of the second. Christina Collins up now for Paramus Catholic. And I believe there's questions about the ruling or what's going on out there. Shulman looks back. Second hit of the day for Paramus Catholic. And they've, as I mentioned, have been winning games at a decent clip of late. They've won 2 of their last 4. A young team on the team website. Coach Casimiro really mentions how there's a lot of starters with no varsity experience because of the lost 2020 season. So after players, a few players will draw some attention to coaches around the country. And it's a mix for him. And he says that in some cases, the freshmen and sophomores have more softball experience than some of the juniors and seniors. As Collins takes a whack at the first pitch, but it goes back. 0-1 count. Nobody out here in the top of the second. A leadoff double for Amendola, and Paramus Catholic is trying to bring its first runner across. Drops that in there, nicely done on the drop ball from Shulman. 1-1. Good piece of that one behind the plate, and it goes back foul behind the Fort Lee dugout. 1-2 count. Catches the corner, strike 3. She goes down looking. Collins retired on strikes. Backwards K in the scorebook and 1 away here in the top of the second. Runner on second is Sabrina Amendola after she blasted a ground rule double. First pitch, a called strike to Gabby Hartman, the right fielder. Paramus Catholic stranded a runner in the top of the first. Try to avoid doing so here. The 7-hitter Hartman up now. Swing, and it's knocked back foul. One out here, runner on second. After Hartman, it's Marciniak, the pitcher. And it's an 0-2 count here to Hartman. Shulman's already gotten 2 strikeouts. Deals here. Misses low and away. Really, for both of these teams in these rebuilding stages, it's more about themselves than the other team, as Shulman rolls this one over to Park. But she's able to gobble that one up, but Amendola does head over to third. So Amendola advances on what I believe will be ruled a wild pitch, and all of a sudden the count works to 2-2. Hartman momentarily steps out. Umpire handling business over there. Marciniak and Gonzalez round out the Paramus Catholic order. 1 out already gathered by Shulman. Second time dealing with a runner on third already through 1 1/3 innings. 2-2 count. Good piece of it, but it knocks back against the backstop. Keep it at 2-2. Shulman has her get a little piece of it down the third base line, picked up, and I believe she fouled that off, and it looked like it hit her body. So back in the box goes Gabby Hartman. Remains a 2-2 count. Schulman trying to work her way through the top of the second here. Scoreless affair. It's dribbled over to the right side, bobbled at second, and can Kim get it there in time? No, she does not. That's an E4. That allows the run to come home, and Paramus Catholic takes a 1-0 lead. Amendola first gets the third on the wild pitch and then comes all the way around on that E4. First pitch is called strike to Marciniak, who now will go into the bottom of the inning with the lead in the circle. Hartman is on first with 1 out after an error over at second. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Nicely placed by Schulman. 0-2 count here. Schulman trying to retire Marciniak. Off the plate that time. One and two. Drops it in there, strike 3, and that ends the inning. Fort Lee is able to keep it to 1 run. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors, as actually it was my mistake. She did get the put out over at first, and nobody left on base. Bottom of the second we go. Fort Lee is down 1-0 to Paramus Catholic, and the Bridgemen will try to answer right back here on YouTube. Bottom of the second inning, Fort Lee Bridgeman down 1-0 to Paramus Catholic. Sam Kuperman with you as the first pitch catches the outside corner to Francesca Arnone of Fort Lee. It's Arnone, Huang, and Kim in the order. Do want to apologize to Michelle Kim's family. There was no error over there. I just got a bad angle on it. That's on me. I saw it the wrong way. So apologize. She did get the put out over at first, as that last one was fouled back, but a run did cross. 1-0 Paramus Catholic as currently stands. Marciniak yet to allow a hit. She's got an 0-2 count quickly on Arnone, the first baseman. And this one is way too low inside. 1-2. Arnone, Huang, and Kim in the Bridgeman order, playing a non-conference game here against Paramus Catholic. And they'll say that one caught the zone, strike 3. And down looking goes Arnone here in the top, or bottom of the second, excuse me. Marciniak pitching a gem thus far. Her third strikeout through 5 batters faced. Only batter that's got on is Lily Schulman, the Fort Lee pitcher who got on via the walk. As first pitch is grounded over to short. Play made. And on to first to get the second out. Nicely done by Sal Salvamini over to Amendola. And quick ground out for Ishi Huang. Michelle Kim, the last chance for Fort Lee here in the bottom of the second. Fast-moving game, 1-0 Paramus Catholic. Here is Kim. Swing and a miss, strike one. Marciniak is in a groove here against the Fort Lee order to this point. 0-1. Sent out in the air. Good distance on that one, but it looks like it hooked foul. And back in the box goes Kim. Man, she crushed that ball down the Pitt Park side of the field, but it hooked foul. That's really the first bit of contact that a Fort Lee batter has gotten a Marciniak pitch thus far, and she's belted that one. Good job by Kim, and now she'll try to recreate some of that. 0-2 count here. 2 away. Knocked down the first base line, and the play is made as Amendola steps on the bag to end the second inning. Bridgman go down 1-2-3, and Fort Lee heads into the third inning. Down 1-0. Lily Shulman will do her best to try to keep it that way. And you're watching it here on YouTube Live, Fort Lee Athletics. Top of the third from Fort Lee. Sam Kuperman with you here on YouTube. Fort Lee Athletics. Lily Shulman throws a ball to the first batter she sees. That's Jade Gonzalez, the 9-hitter, left fielder. Top of the order due up next, Carly Burwanger and Jen Salvamini. Burwanger playing center and Salvamini over at short. Shulman gave up a run on an RBI over to the right side by Gabby Hartman. Both of these teams playing a little non-conference action today as the 2-0 count to Gonzalez. Shulman deals. And off the plate. We were supposed to play this a week ago. Weather was inclement there, and, well, we postponed it and got a beautiful day today. 69 degrees, sunny, wind a little bit in there, and that's 4 straight balls to issue a leadoff walk to Jade Gonzalez. Shulman will try to right the ship here, and that's something that Coach Vargas really raves about her pitcher and what she can do in that sense. Her strength and her poise in the circle. Burwanger grounded out on one pitcher first time up. Got a runner on first to work with. Park looked back to first after that first pitch went upstairs for a ball. Mentioned Joelle Park behind the plate, a utility player that can play all over the field, but just due to some reconfiguration, she's had to go behind the plate. As that's a called strike, but the throw on to second on the steal attempt gets away, and that allows Gonzalez to stay over at second. Looked like Juan was covering second. The throw from Park went up and away, and that's a stolen base for Gonzalez. Drew a walk, heads on to second. And a runner in scoring position for Paramus Catholic. And a 1-1 count to Burwanger. Chopped over to third. Casal, believe she got her over at first. And that allows the runner to stay there. Double check that we got that right here from our position in the East Gymnasium. So Gonzalez stays on second, I meant to say. And Berwanger's still at the plate, so that would issue that being a foul ball. So that was a whole lot of nothing. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike two. No, that's Salvamini that's up at the plate, so that's strike one. Beg your pardon on that. So Gonzalez is over at third after that ground out. This is popped up right side, and a juggling catch would have been made, but it's dropped. It's dropped out there in right field by Lapino, and Paramus Catholic is able to inflict some damage after that. Salvamini able to send a fly ball out to right and bring in a run. 2-0. Paladins. So with one away here, Salvamini is on second base. And it's an E9 on the Bridgman. And Polvino is at the plate. Gonzalez, the second run of the game for Paramus Catholic. 0-1. Sent over to second. Kim is there. And shovels to first for out number 2. Salvamini scampers over to third on that. So Paramus Catholic with the 2-0 lead. Opportunity to potentially add to it as Polvino advances the runner. Pitch sails up and away on the first offering to Doobie, the catcher. She struck out in the first inning. Danielle Doobie after her, Sabrina Amendola, who whacked a double her last time up. Doobie fouls this one back. 2 away here. Fort Lee trying to get out of the top of the third with only a 2-0 deficit, but you have Salvamini hanging over on third. Chopper to the left side, and that rolls foul. 1-2. One and two count to Danielle Doobie. Pitch gets behind the plate, but Salvamini doesn't try to head home on that. One and two count here. Pitch off the plate. 2-2. Two out here in the top of the third. 2-0 Paramus Catholic. Swing and a miss. Got her whiffing to end the top of the third. Nicely done. Second time Shulman has struck out Doobie. But there was some damage inflicted over on the other side of the scoreboard as another run crossed. No hits, a crucial error, and a runner left over on third. To the bottom of the third we go, and Fort Lee will try to... Oh, I guess we're still hanging around here. Disregard that. I thought that was a strike three. Apologize for everything going on back on our end. I was just in announcer mode, so disregard that. Doobie's over on first base. And that keeps things in order. Did look like a swing and a miss. I will swear by it. Amendola at the plate as we try to get things ironed out on our end, and I'll try to give you the best I can. So Doobie walked. She didn't swing. And meanwhile, the run crosses here as that one gets away. So it's 3-0. Off the plate here from Shulman. Catches for a strike. The 3-0 Paramus Catholic. Sent out in the air. Amendola. And this one is in front of the outfield. That brings in another run, 4-0. Sabrina Amendola, RBI single to right center. Allows Doobie to cross. And Paramus Catholic's all of a sudden built up a nice cushion here with a run in the third inning. First pitch to Collins, sent on the ground. Backhand play at second cannot be made by Kim as that rolls into the outfield. Amendola advances to second. Collins is on first. And Paramus Catholic has 2 runners on, 2 out in the top of the third, and the Paladins are close to batting around. Little conversation in the circle here as Shulman and company try to get things in order. Fort Lee, young team that feeds off the energy of their head coach, Crystal Vargas, and they have a lot of confidence in Lily Shulman. Team has given up 3 runs this inning, and they'll try to prevail. Hartman is at the plate. She had an RBI grounder over to first her last time up, and immediately sends a hit in there to keep the inning going. So Collins over to second. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. And this is to Marciniak, the pitcher. It's 5-0 Paramus Catholic now. Swing and a miss here. Marciniak whiffed right through it. 0-2 to the pitcher. Here's the 0-2 count, 2 away. Pitch in the air down the right field line, and it goes foul. A long top of the third, and Fort Lee would really like to get the bats up after things seem to be going a little awry here. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Now we can do the end of the inning wrap-up as Marciniak goes down on strikes. A lot of damage done by Paramus Catholic. 4 runs for the Paladins. They're able to get a couple hits, some errors as well in there, 2 of them, and a couple runners left on base. A wild top of the third, and we're hoping for a smoother bottom of the third here from the East Gymnasium at Fort Lee High School. Bottom of the third inning from Lemoyne Avenue Field. Fort Lee Bridgman softball in a 5-0 hole to Paramus Catholic after a 4-run top of the third for the Paladins. Sam Kuperman with you as Fort Lee has its 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up this inning. Francesca Lapino, she plays right field. She'll be up first. Then Sojun Wan, shortstop. And then the top of the order, Kelly McCann, trying to face a pitcher in that of Jessica Marciniak, who has yet to allow a hit. Marciniak, the righty, looking good through a couple innings. Facing the right-handed hitter, Lapino. Swinging a healthy miss on the first pitch, 0-1. Lapino, 167 hitter thus far. That's a called strike on the inner half. Marciniak's just moving that ball all around the plate. And had a lot of success with location. 0-2. Bouncer. 1-2. Fort Lee attempting to get something going positively at the plate here. Tapped down the right side and thrown over to first by Marciniak. She gets the first batter down here. So Lapino grounds out. And that allows Sojun Wan to step up for Fort Lee. First pitch by Marciniak is too high. Top of the order due up next for Fort Lee. Lone base runner is coming a walk, and Juan can't connect with that pitch. Marciniak deals. Juan that time also unable to make any contact. 1-2 count she's dealing with. Paramus Catholic in a groove. And the 1-2 pitch comes in. And it becomes 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Juan. 2 away. Kelly McCann, she struck out her first time up, and a really strong stat line from Marciniak here, the senior pitcher for Paramus Catholic. McCann, the lefty, shows bunt, applies the bunt. Come in from third base. And the play is made in time. Polvino over to Amendola to wrap up the bottom of the third. So I thought, no, she was safe. She was safe. She was safe. She beat it out. So nicely done by McCann. She was able to beat that out. Tough play for Polvino to make over there. So bunt single is the first hit that Fort Lee has today, and immediately Casal gets a load of that ball, and it flies over the center fielder's head. Berwanger has to go back to track it. She lets it roll all the way to the wall, but it did not reach the track there, and that brings the first run home, and Casal stands in and crosses home plate. A 2-run in the park dinger, and Fort Lee gets 2 runs on the board as Casal brings home McCann. And a bottom of the third rally gets the Bridgman a couple runs. Lily Shulman, the pitcher, who's going to benefit from that a whole lot for Fort Lee. She now gets to step up. Shulman facing Marciniak, and she launches it foul down the Lemoyne Avenue line. A 1. A little flare down the opposite way, and a Hooks foul. A 2-run homer by Casal, and certainly a way for Fort Lee to get this thing moving. "5-2 score. And all of a sudden, Lily Shulman's got more manageable game to pitch as Fort Lee eventually will head into the 4th here. Marciniak deals. Shulman knocks it foul again. Joel Park up next. Remains 0-2. And now it's 1-2. Shulman drew a walker first time up in the bottom of the 1st. Until that Kelly McCann bunt single, it was the last runner to reach. And they'll say that just missed a little low, despite the best efforts of Doobie to frame it. Comes 2-2. And now it runs full. Shulman, a patient approach here. Team is down 5-2, and Shulman will try to make something happen. Sails away, ball 4. Shulman's second walk drawn of the game. And with 2 away, Fort Lee's got another base runner. Joel Park up now. She's grounded out, rather, to end the 1st inning. And Park, one of the better hitters on the team. She recently had in the Park homer. Just had one on Luciana Casal. And she'll try to replicate that. First pitch high for Marciniak. Shulman, after drawing the walk, stands over at first. And Park will try to avoid leaving Shulman stranded over there. Up and in this time. Marciniak had a no-hitter going with 2 out in the bottom of the 3rd, and then McCann's bunt single kept things going and allowed Casal to blast a 2-run homer. Swing and a miss that time. Throw onto second as Shulman tries to steal. And she gets in there safely. Lily Shulman over at second base. After her walk, she swipes second. And it's a 2-1 count over here to Park. Can't connect that time. 2-2. So you've had a very eventful 3rd inning both ways. Paramus Catholic put on 4 runs in the top of the 3rd. Fort Lee has answered with 2 in the bottom. And it's a 5-2 game and a runner in scoring position. Park gets a chance to cut it a little closer. 2-2. Easy call for a ball that time. Count is full. Jessica Marciniak trying to get out of the 3rd for Paramus Catholic. And she does with that strikeout. Joel Park goes down on strikes to end the 3rd. But Fort Lee gets 2 runs on the board with that 2-run shot by Luciana Casal. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base for the Bridgmen. We go to the 4th. It's 5-2 Paramus Catholic here on YouTube. Top of the fourth from Fort Lee. Sam Kuperman with you. Fort Lee Athletics on YouTube. It's where you can find all the Bridgman athletic events. Big shout out to our producer Jordan Sarnoff and Dimitri over here as well, making this one happen. As Fort Lee is down 5-2. Bridgman plated 2 in the bottom of the third with a 2-run homer by Fort Lee's 2-hitter, Luciana Casal. Meanwhile, Paramus Catholic steps up here in the top of the fourth, and they'll try to answer right back. Bunt shown, and Gonzalez can't direct that in play. The 9-hitter, Jade Gonzalez, led off the third, and she leads off the fourth as well. 4 runs in the third for Paramus Catholic to extend that, what was once a 1-0 lead, over to 5-0. Bunt shown again. This one flies up and away from Shulman. 1-1 count. Gonzalez, Berwanger, and Salvamini. 9-1-2. Swing and a miss here. Shulman got her chasing. Fort Lee trying to mount the comeback here. Closing in on the halfway point of this one. 1-2. And that becomes a strikeout. Shulman, nicely done. Gets Gonzalez down on strikes here to start the fourth. Lily Shulman's got a lot of Ks on the board already. 4 of them. And the top of the order here. We'll call that a strike to Berwanger. Carly Berwanger, 0 for 2 thus far. And she whiffs on that offering in the dirt. 0-2. Pitch sent out. Over first base. A sliding catch in right field. We'll see if that was called in the air. No, they'll say that hit the ground first. So it is a single, but how about the effort by Lapino over there? Tip of the hat to her. But they'll say evidently that Berwanger hit that clean and it hit the turf before the catch was made. So it is a 1-out single. And the Paladins get a runner over on first. Salvamini up now for the third time. Called strike to her. Salvamini singled to right in the first inning. Was able to advance all the way over to third. And she had a big hit last inning. She sent a fly ball over to right field, and an error was made, and that allowed things to progress as she swings and tips this one back foul. Fort Lee with 1 out, top of the 4, trying to pitch through the Paramus Catholic order. Sent over to short. Huang picks it up. And the throw is offline. Runner safe. And that allows Berwanger to stop at second. It was a close play. Don't want to make a judgment on it until it's ruled final on the live stats, but could probably score that either way. Slow roller to short. Definitely a play that's beatable. And Juan just couldn't make that throw in time. Polvino steps up here. Ball on the first pitch from Shulman. Salvamini at first. Berwanger at second. Polvino at the plate, the 3-hitter. Shulman rolls it over to her. Park has trouble handling it and can't get it over to the third in time. That allows everybody to advance. Shulman's got to check in here with 1 out. There's 2 runners in scoring position. So Berwanger advances over to third. Salvamini on second. They roll both of those hits. So that puts the Paramus Catholic tally up to 6. Pitch. Polvino smacks it. And does that hook foul? It does. So everybody trots back. By the end of this, I promise my depth perception will catch up to the broadcast, so we'll give it a few more innings. Polvino. Chopper. Fielded at third. Casal across the diamond. And it looks like she gets the play over there. That does allow a run to cross. So it becomes 6-2 Paramus Catholic with 2 away here in the top of the 4th. So Polvino brings a run home on that ground out as Berwanger comes through. First pitch off the plate to Doobie. Lily Shulman trying to navigate through the middle of this Paladins order. They have a 4-run cushion, and she tosses a ball here as it becomes 2-0. Salvamini is over on third now after that grounder. Tapped over to second. Kim makes the play. So Fort Lee gets out of the 4th inning, only allowing 1 run. Do give up 2 hits. No errors, leave a runner on third. And the Bridgemen come up to the plate, down 4 in the bottom of the 4th. You're watching it with Fort Lee Athletics on YouTube. On to the bottom of the 4th. Fort Lee trying to come out of this 6-2 hole against Paramus Catholic. You're watching it with Fort Lee Athletics on YouTube. Sam Kuperman with you from Fort Lee as a beautiful sunny day at Lemoyne Avenue Field. Winds blowing in at a decent pace, but nothing too crazy that's going to impact play all that much. Just makes for a comfortable watching experience if you're out on the field. We're coming to you from the East Gymnasium adjacent to Lemoyne Avenue Field. And Fort Lee comes up to the plate in the 4-run hole. Arnone, Huang, and Kim, 5, 6, 7, due up this inning for the Bridgemen. And Francesca Arnone struck out looking her first time up in the bottom of the 2nd. Casal launched a 2-run homer last inning to give Fort Lee its first runs of the game. Called strike on the first pitch by Marciniak. She's up to 5 strikeouts through 3, and she'll try to continue on all the good work she's done already. Here's the 0-1. May have hit her, and it did. On to first, hit by a pitch. Arnone took that one. It didn't seem to be all that painful, and she advances to first. Nobody out here to start the bottom of the 4th. Yishi Huang is up. Grounded out to shorter first time up. She's got a base runner on first. Fort Lee is going to have to do this little by little here. Marciniak, the senior pitcher, is cruising thus far. Pitch. Sent out. Right field, and the jumping catch is made out there by Hartman for out number 1. Hartman seemed to be in the perfect position for that ball. Decent shot out there, and she makes the catch. Keeps Arnone over on first, and Michelle Kim is up with 1 away. Kim 0 for 1. Takes a ball down below the knees. 1-0. Up and in to make it 2-0. Really, aside from that homer by Casal, there hasn't been much of anything Marciniak's given up that she can really fault herself for. Pitch. Fouled off, possibly unintentionally by Kim. She protects the plate, and it becomes 2-1. Kim, a sophomore. Pretty young Fort Lee team. A few seniors scattered throughout there. Arnone over at first is one of them. Pitch above the head. And it's a third ball that Kim has here. With Arnone getting hit by a pitch, Kim at the plate. Fort Lee has a chance to do some damage this inning with 1 away. 3-1 count. Ball 4. Runners on first and second, 1 down. Arnone the lead runner. Kim, a few paces behind her. Francesca Lapino is up now. Grounded out to the pitcher last inning. That led off the bottom of the third. Looks like Coach Casimiro wants to make a substitution as he takes out Marciniak. And he allows Carly Berwanger to be the new pitcher. She takes some warm-up tosses here. Make sure we have the right defensive substitution out in center field because Berwanger was playing there. If I'm looking at this correctly, I think, well, Hartman came over from left, so let's see. I believe Jade Gonzalez shifts over to center here. And Alyssa DiSclafani comes in to play right. Or rather, play left, I should say. Hartman remains in right. DiSclafani comes in to play left, and in center, it's Gonzalez. So Berwanger takes the spot of Marciniak. 2 very different approaches. Fort Lee just allows Shulman to pitch almost the entirety of every game, whereas Paramus Catholic, they'll swap pitchers in and out. And Berwanger is in the circle here to face off against Lapino with 2 runners aboard, 1 out. First pitch, called strike, Berwanger. Some decent heat on that. So it is Gonzalez shifting over. And DiSclafani coming over to left. That's a swing and a miss that time. And it becomes 0-2 with 1 down. Missed that time, did Berwanger. Sophomore, who, when you think about this, is playing her first year of varsity ball. That's so many of these high school athletes. Things get impacted as this is grounded over to the right side. And that is just held. So we're seeing where things shape up now. And Arnone is over on third, Lupino on first, as the play was made at second. That explains that. First pitch to Juan is sent up into the outfield, bobbled in center by Gonzalez. She heaves it in, and that allows a run to come home. So with 2 down, Fort Lee gets a runner in as Arnone comes home. Juan over to second, and Lupino actually came through as well. So that's 6-3, a 2-run, 2-out double by Sojun Wang. A major hit for her. As after the fielder's choice by Lupino, Wang just sent the first pitch out there. McCann, the leadoff hitter, takes the ball from Berwanger here. This one is sent out there, and Fort Lee is able to bring home another 2, actually. Fort Lee keeps the party going in the bottom of the 4th. It's 6-5. As the Bridgemen get another run batted in there by McCann. Or rather, Juan stopped at third. It's 6-4, beg your pardon. No, it is 6-5. I got corrected on here. So it is 6-5. It was right the first time. McCann knocks in 2 with a 2-out single. And the offense is all of a sudden picked up here. Casale belted a 2-run homer her last time up. Gets a piece of this one, rolls it up the middle. And it looks like it leaks through to the outfield, and it does. And the run comes through. McCann goes all the way from first to home. And Casale gets an RBI single as Fort Lee is able to continue to make something happen here.
Listen, do your best. It is hard. I can see your angle.
Luciana Casale evens the score here as it's 6-6. A 4-run 4th for the Bridgemen. Berwanger has given up a number of runs early on as Schulman sends this pitch over down the left field line. And it looks like we have another hit for Fort Lee as Schulman keeps that in fair play. Right now, a 4-run, 4-hit inning for Fort Lee. There are 2 outs. And Joelle Park will do her best to keep the party going. And the Bridgemen after this, should Park do just that, will bat around. Marciniak was pitching really well. Things started to go awry, and Berwanger comes in to relieve. And she hits a batter. Bases are juiced. Joelle Park hit by a pitch, second time this inning that's happened between 2 different pitchers. So Casale on third, Schulman at second. And his first pitch is up and away for a ball. Park on first, and Arnone her second at-bat this inning. She was hit by a pitch the first time to bring this thing full circle. In the dirt from Berwanger. Two 2-0 count. That's 3-0 quickly. Fort Lee has a chance to take its first lead of the game right here. And Arnone gets her second at-bat of the inning. Chance to adjust the gloves. These teams have had just absolutely jam-packed weeks. Played yesterday, will play tomorrow as well. This is a makeup game from last week. Trying to get every game we can in here. 3-0. That's called strike. rapid first couple innings of this game, and then all of a sudden the offense has come out. 3-1 is back foul. Full count here on our own. Bases loaded for Fort Lee. 6-6 the score. Bottom 4. Swing and a miss. That ends the 4th. And a crucial out for Paramus Catholic. Fort Lee inflicts a whole lot of damage, though. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 3 left on base. So we go to the 5th, and things are even at 6. Fort Lee Athletics on YouTube. We'll be right back. Top of the 5th from Fort Lee. We've had an action-packed game as things have progressed. 6-6 the score between Fort Lee and Paramus Catholic. Sam Kuperman with you as the first pitch is grounded into play. And Juan at short throws it over to first, but the ball goes awry, and that allows Paramus Catholic to get a base runner on to begin the 5th inning as Amendola is aboard. Sabrina Amendola, Christina Collins, and Gabby Hartman. 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Paladins. First pitch is back from Collins. Collins struck out looking her first time, then singled her second at-bat. Third error of the game for Fort Lee there. This is chopped right in front of the circle, but the catcher, Park, makes a nice play to get over there. And we'll see if she was able to retire. It did not get her a time at first. So that's runners at first and second, nobody out here. As Paramus Catholic, after giving up 4 in the bottom of the 4th, has quickly put 2 runners on. Amendola at second. Collins at first after that soft infield hit. And the first pitch sails outside from Schulman to Hartman. Maybe Collins was trying to lay a bunt down, but it looked like a swing to me that just was well placed by Paramus Catholic's standards as Hartman cuts through that one. 1-1 count here. Schulman's gotten out of a number of jams, and she's also gotten hit in some. We'll see what she does here. This is softly tapped over to Juan. Looks to go to third, and they got her. Nicely done. Get the lead runner. 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Didn't have a lot of time to think about that, but Sojun Juan over at short just had to go with the first instinct there, and it was to get the lead runner, Amendola. 1 out, runners on first and second after that fielder's choice. Collins advances to second. First pitch up and outside to the 8-hitter, who for the first time gets to go to the plate. DeSclafani. Alyssa DeSclafani, she replaced the starting pitcher in that of Marciniak, as Shulman rolls this one off the plate. DeSclafani now playing left field. And she cuts through that pitch. Shulman gets her first strike on DeSclafani. It's 2-1. 9-hitter is Jade Gonzalez. She's due up next. They'll call that a strike. Shulman says, thank you very much. It's 2-2. Pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Shulman gets DeSclafani down on strikes. Two down, top of the 5th. Runners on first and second for the Paladins. Score remains 6-6. Pitch sent out by Gonzalez. Right field line. Running catch made to end the inning. How about that? The wheels displayed by Lupino. And the catch in stride down the line keeps the inning scoreless for the Paladins, as they were able to get one hit. And that keeps Fort Lee with the 6-6 tie heading into the bottom of the 5th here on YouTube. Bottom of the 5th, and Fort Lee has a chance to take its first lead of the game here against Paramus Catholic. Sam Kuperman with you, Fort Lee Athletics on YouTube Live. Berwanger, the backup pitcher, throws a called strike to Huang, the 6-hitter. It's Yishi Huang, Michelle Kim, and Francesca Lupino here in the bottom of the 5th for Fort Lee. Berwanger stepped in against Marciniak's line, as that's tossed outside for a ball. A majority of the runs given up last inning came from Berwanger, and she'll try to work out of this here with a tie ball game. Missed up high there to Huang. Two and one count here. Berwanger tosses a strike that time. Huang is grounded out and flown out thus far, looking for her first hit of the day. Easy call on the ball there. Count runs full. Get a piece of that, and it drops into the outfield for a leadoff hit. Nicely done by Yishi Huang. And Fort Lee's got a runner aboard. Michelle Kim is the batter up here. Kim drew a walk last inning, and was among the crowd that scored as Fort Lee brought home 4 runs last inning. Pitch sent out. Shallow, and it is caught and then thrown over to first. Couldn't see if that was caught in the air or not, but obviously if it was caught in the air, runner would have had to trot back. Pitch outside. 1-0. And that was a double play, so that was nicely done. Had to make sure I got that right. So that's Collins. Tip of the hat to her. Miss on the inner half, or rather, catches the inner half there. Very low. So Berwanger gets a called strike here. So a 4-3 double play is what that amounts to. Pitch off the plate here. Berwanger tossing to Lupino with 2 down here. Scored 6-6 and a 3-1 count. Ball 4. Looked like some hesitation there by Lupino. She wasn't sure what they were going to call that, but evidently she got the call, and on to first she goes. There's that little liner by Kim, and 4-3 double play. But Lupino is on first, and Juan takes a called strike with 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Gets a little piece of that. Juan doubled last inning. A mammoth shot. Takes a ball here. That was the first of 4 runs driven in last inning. Juan grounds this one over to short, and the play is made. Nicely done over there. Salvamini gets Paramus Catholic out of the inning without giving up a run. Fort Lee tried to get something going as the Bridgemen. They did get another hit, no runs, no errors, and Fort Lee leaves a runner aboard. To the 6th we go, and things are tied at 6. It's Fort Lee Athletics on YouTube. Sixth inning of work for Lily Shulman, and Fort Lee is deadlocked at 6 with Paramus Catholic here on YouTube. Sam Kuperman with you as the Bridgemen watch a foul ball go down the line from Berwanger, the leadoff hitter and now the pitcher. She started the game over at center field, and she's come in since then as she was inserted for the starter, Marciniak. Berwanger, Salvamini, and Polvino, 1, 2, 3 in the Paramus Catholic order. And an 0-1 count here. Call that a strike. 0-2. Berwanger 1 for 3. Singled in the 4th. Takes that off the plate from Shulman. Fort Lee looking for its 3rd win of the year. Paramus Catholic It's 2-2 in its last 4, trying to go for 4. And Shulman bounces this one. Count evens 2-2. Skied foul. Fort Lee was down 5-0 heading into the bottom of the third. A 2-run homer by Casal with 2 outs really gave the Bridgmen a little bit of momentum. And then from then, Fort Lee scored 4 more runs. Swing and a miss from Berwanger. It's a live ball. Can Park get it to first in time? Yes, she does. 4 out number 1. Another strikeout for Lily Shulman, and the putout made 2-1. Jen Salvamini is up now for Paramus Catholic. She is 2 for 3, 2 singles, a run scored. Solid stat line for the sophomore. Pop up over the left side of the infield, and that's a fair ball, as that's a single for Salvamini with 1 out, her 3rd hit of the day. Salvamini on. Polvino will try to make something happen here for the Paladins. As I mentioned, they were up big. Polvino 0 for 3. She has batted in a run. And she gets a good piece of this ball, but it stays up in the infield, and Shulman watches it fall into her glove. 2 away, pop out. And it's Doobie, the catcher, who will try to keep the top of the 6th alive for Paramus Catholic. A fun finish in store here in Fort Lee. Salvamini hangs over at first. And this is sent in the air, and that's a single out to center field. So with 2 out in the top of the 6th, Doobie keeps things alive. Salvamini advances to second base, and Doobie, 2-out single. She hangs over on first. And then the next batter gets plunked here. Collins. So she's on first, and all of a sudden, Amendola rather, and now the bases are all of a sudden loaded. Things have changed in a hurry. Up and away, 1-0 count. Shulman, big moment here, facing Christina Collins. Got Salvamini on third, Doobie on second, and Amendola on first. In the dirt that time. Olivia Capello is the runner over at second in place of Doobie. Off the play from Shulman there. Bases are loaded. Shulman misses low here. So I believe. I think he may have called that a strike. Three-1 the count. 2 away, bases loaded. Piece of this in the infield. Bouncer to Kim. Can the play be made? No! The play is not made, and a couple runs come home for Paramus Catholic. They do get the out at third, but it looks like 2 runs do come home as Paramus Catholic's able to take a lead on that. So for the Paladins, a couple hits, couple runs, and Fort Lee, crucial miscue in the field. as the score moves to 8-6. Bottom six we go here on YouTube. Carly Berwanger's thrown 1 2/3 inning, and she's right now nursing an 8-6 lead for Paramus Catholic. Sam Kuperman with you as the first pitch is put into play, and it looks like it is leadoff single. 8-6 Paramus Catholic, and Fort Lee gets its first batter, McCann, aboard with the slap single. McCann's third hit of the game. Really been an impact player at the top of the Bridgman order. And Casal, who knocked a 2-run homer in the bottom of the third and then had a RBI single in the fourth, is up to the plate here. Big spot for her. First pitch is sent back foul by Casal. Speaking with Coach Vargas the other day, she mentioned that Casal's somebody that, when her bat's going, is just one of the best on the team. Really got off to a hot start. Last week she was 11 for 24. Average has dipped a little since then, but certainly increased it with that 2-run homer she had earlier, and then the RBI single as well for Luciana Casal. Takes that inside. McCann over on first. Up next should Fort Lee continue this is Shulman. It's sent back into foul territory and not able to be caught down there. Amendola, the first baseman, did her best to get over there. 1-2 to Casal. Fort Lee Bridgman down 8-6, but a spot for Luciana Casal to even the score. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Casal. One away here in the bottom of the sixth, and Lily Shulman gets to come up to the plate. Shulman is 1 for 1. She singled her last time up, walked her first two times up, also has stolen a base. Gives this one a little tap over to the right side of the infield, and the play was made at second in time. Gets the lead runner McCann out. So the fielder's choice is out number 2 here in the bottom of the sixth. Big strikeout for Berwanger, and then Shulman get her on the fielder's choice. And the first pitch, a ball to Joelle Park. One out. High this time. Park 0 for 2. Struck out her second time up. She was hit by a pitch her last time at the plate. Slaps this one over to short. Throw across the diamond is up and too high. Gets over the first baseman Amendola's head. And that puts runners at second and third after that error. Salva Mini overshot Amendola. Park at second and Shulman at third. Things getting interesting here as the go-ahead run is at the plate for Fort Lee. This is Francesca Arnone. Berwanger remains the pitcher out there. And the sophomore trying to work her way out of this for Paramus Catholic. Pitch, ball one to Arnone. Arnone, the Fort Lee first baseman. Yishi Huang is up next, should Arnone keep the inning alive. Off the plate from Berwanger. Looks like a Paramus Catholic player just ran behind the backstop. Wonder if she's ready to come into pitch. Just speculation, as that catches the inside corner. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Second strike on Arnone. 2-2 is the count. 8-6 Paramus Catholic over Fort Lee, the score. Bottom of the sixth, 2 out. Big spot. Piece of this, and it's whacked off the backstop. However this shapes up, this has got to be nice for both of these teams. There's been so many lopsided scores throughout the season for them, even in wins. Pitch. That's too tall. Count runs full. Fort Lee coming off a 14-10 loss yesterday, falling to Teaneck. Be a nice bounce-back opportunity for the Bridgmen here. 3-2. Swing and a miss. That ends the sixth. Berwanger in a crucial spot gets Paramus Catholic out of trouble. Fort Lee ends the inning without getting a run across. The Bridgmen do get a hit, and Fort Lee goes into the seventh, trying to come back out of this 8-6 deficit here on YouTube.
Yeah, in the picture it's hard to tell, but 36 inches. Yeah, that's fine.
On to the seventh inning, and it's 8-6 Paramus Catholic over Fort Lee. Softball here on Fort Lee Athletics on YouTube. Sam Kuperman with you. Fort Lee Bridgmen here on a beautiful day at Lemoyne Avenue Field. Had the bases loaded 2 away, but couldn't come up with any runs last inning. And here, Paramus Catholic sends Hartman up to the plate. The right fielder swings through the first offering from Lily Shulman. In the order, it's Hartman, DeSclafani, and Gonzalez, the 7-8-9 hitters. Paramus Catholic trying to win their third game in their last 5 chances. Chance to extend this lead here. Grounder over to the left side. Throw across the diamond by Casal is on target for the first out. Nicely done by Luciana Casal for Fort Lee. And the ground out by Hartman. Here is DeSclafani, who subbed for the starting pitcher, Marciniak. She struck out in her first plate appearance. DeSclafani, a junior for the Paladins. Shulman trying to get her control here. As DeSclafani quickly in a decent spot in the count. Gets a piece of this ball. Over to third again. Casal on point, 2 away.
Yeah, but like, yeah, no, that is done. I should look at it to make sure.
Jade Gonzalez, last chance for Paramus Catholic to give itself a little more of a cushion in the bottom of the last. Gonzalez swings at the first pitch. Over to short, deep in the hole. Juan bounces it to first. And in time, a nice hop off the turf. And Fort Lee gets the benefit of that. Juan makes the putout. And the Bridgemen go into the bottom of the last. Down 2 runs. A 1-2-3 inning for Lily Shulman in the 7th. And here come the Bridgemen on YouTube. Bottom of the last, Fort Lee down 8-6 to Paramus Catholic. It's Fort Lee Bridgeman Athletics on YouTube. Sam Kuperman with you from Lemoyne Avenue Field in Fort Lee as the Bridgemen need to make up this 2-run deficit. And they go with the 6, 7, 8 hitters here to try and do it. Yishi Huang is the first batter up, facing Berwanger, who's pitched 2 2/3 innings thus far. Huang, Kim, and Lapino trying to keep the Bridgemen in this game. Fort Lee's dropped 3 in a row. Chance to end that losing skid. 0-1 count. Driven over to the left side. And Juan able to get over to first. Huang, I should say, rather. Yishi Huang with the infield single. And runner aboard here in the bottom of the 7th. Good foot speed by her. Michelle Kim comes to the plate. Tying run is what she represents. Facing Berwanger here, the reliever, who's trying to hold on for a Paramus Catholic victory. Up and inside on the first pitch. Doobie, the catcher, seemed a little concerned about Huang over at first. Swing and a miss. Kim's last time up lined into a double play. Gets a piece of it, but it's back off the backstop. Off the plate here to Kim. Two and two count now. Runner on first is Huang. Pitch to Michelle Kim. Out to center field. This is deep, and it gets over the head in center field of Gonzalez. This is trouble for Paramus Catholic. Kim goes to third. She continues to run. She heads for home. Is the throw in time? Yes, it is. It's 8-7, 1 down. Kim gets tagged out trying to jet to home. Huang scores, and it's a 1-run ball game. Beautiful recovery by Paramus Catholic out there to get that ball in and relay it home. But Fort Lee does tack on a run here. 8-7 ball game. First pitch is a strike to Lupino. Francesca Lupino is the tying run now. Off the plate here from Berwanger. A triple by Kim and then tagged out at home. Excitement here in the home stretch at Fort Lee. 1-1. Tap to the pitcher. Berwanger has all day. And she makes the put out for out number 2. Fort Lee down to its final out. After that ground out by Lupino. Sojung Won is the last hope here. Junior right-handed hitter. A deep shot off the bat of Michelle Kim, but she was tagged out heading home in what would have been the tying run, as the first pitch is taken for a strike here. Sojung Won, 1 for 3, singled. Swing and a miss here. She struck out once already, has scored a run, and has driven in a run. And the count's 0-2. Berwanger trying to wrap this game up and tell her outfield, thank you very much. A little too high here. 1-2. Fort Lee Bridgman down to their last out in the bottom of the last. 1-2. Swing and a miss. This one ends on that note. Berwanger, the strikeout to seal the deal as she retires Sojung Won on strikes. 8-7 Paramus Catholic. A thriller in Fort Lee as the Paladins win 3 of their last 5 games and move to 4-8 on the season. And the Bridgemen, they get right back on the horse, taking on Northern Valley Demarest tomorrow afternoon. Looking forward to seeing how they do there. Fort Lee loses 8-7. And the final box score, Paramus Catholic, 8 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. Fort Lee, 7 runs, 10 hits, 4 errors. And Michelle Kim tagged out heading home, would have been the tying run. A fun finish, tough loss for the Bridgemen. Big thanks to Jordan Sarnoff over there, Dimitri, and the rest of our team that's made this broadcast possible. From Fort Lee, my name is Sam Kuperman saying good night in an 8-7 final in favor of Paramus Catholic softball.